Hey, if you're a busy dad trying to lose weight, you probably heard about the term macros and that you need to hit your macros in order to lose weight. Hey, I'm David from Busy Dad MD, and in this video we will talk about your macronutrients and what actually matters when it comes to weight loss. I'm a physician, a busy dad of 3 young kids, and I'm struggling with these kind of things myself as well. And I'm trying to create systems that help me lose body fat and stay in shape consistently. One of the things I focus on is macronutrients. All right, what are macronutrients? We got proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Proteins, very important. They make up the structure of our body, helps our body recover after hard workouts, and they keep us pretty full once we eat them. Carbohydrates generally just fuel our body. We don't necessarily need them. Our body is able to make energy out of fats as well. For carbohydrates, when we work hard, it's good to eat them, but you got to make sure you eat it from whole foods. You don't want to eat your carbohydrates from any candy sources. Generally, that just spikes your insulin and doesn't give you any extra nutrient benefits. Fats, also very important. They make up a lot of our cells, components, especially cell walls, skin, and generally very important to stay healthy. Now, important to consider is really how many calories each macronutrient have. Carbohydrates and proteins have both 4 calories per gram, and fats have 9 calories per gram. This is important when it comes to your diet in general. If you consume too much fat, it's very easy to get high on the caloric surplus and leading to fat gain. So, proteins, generally, you don't want to overconsume either. However, it's pretty hard to overconsume. Recommendations are typically staying at around 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of lean body weight. Like I said before in one of my short videos, you do not want to feed any fat mass, okay? So you just feed basically your lean body mass. Okay, important right now, if you want to implement it into your day, is that you kind of like track and see how many macronutrients different foods have. I typically do it pretty old school. I take an app called MyFitnessPal. I'm sure many of you have heard about this type of app. That helps me really kind of see how many calories certain foods have, and it helps you to get like an estimate on how many calories to consume. You don't need to do it for the rest of your life, but I would recommend to do it for about a month to see where you're at and how much you can actually eat in order to lose weight. As a practical thing, very important for weight loss is that you hit a caloric deficit, okay? If you eat more calories than you burn, you obviously gain fat. So it doesn't matter what the sources are really. If it's fat, carbohydrates, or proteins, if you are in a caloric surplus with that, you will gain fat. However, if you overconsume protein, it is very hard for the body to make fat out of protein generally. So protein is more on the safer side when you want to have a higher caloric surplus. Okay, what I do in a general day is typically I focus on a caloric deficit first, which is the most important. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I eat enough protein to support my muscle and recovery from my workouts. If I overconsume carbohydrates while having a caloric surplus, body stores fat, obviously. So simple rules to adhere to. First is prioritize protein. Second, and as important as well, is having a caloric deficit throughout the day. Third is carbohydrates. I consume them. They're very important for recovery and muscle gain, but you want to make sure you get them from whole foods. So unprocessed foods, they have carbohydrates, including fiber. Fiber is very, very important to keep satiety up and support gut health and having healthy bowel movements as well. Okay. Fourth is that I exercise daily. Brisk walks early in the morning, very, very essential when it comes to hormonal health and fat burn. It keeps you in zone 2 steady state cardio, which is optimal for fat burn and mitochondrial health. All right, guys, there you have it. Easy rules. Try to adhere to them. If this type of content is interesting for you, follow my channel. And we will talk more about these kind of topics. I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.